Why do some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly while others struggle their whole lives? Is it luck? Is it a secret they don't want you to know? Or is there something deeper, something hidden in plain sight? The truth is, most people have been lied to about success. They follow the same path society has mapped out for them. Go to school, get good grades, find a safe job, and work until retirement. And yet, look around. How many people are actually wealthy from doing that? How many people are truly free? If this system worked, why is it that only a small percentage of the world holds most of the wealth, while the majority barely get by? Stay with this video until the end, and you'll discover the brutal truth about why the system is rigged against you, and more importantly, how to break free and win. You won't hear this in school. You won't learn it from your boss. But once you understand this secret, you'll never look at life the same way again. The reason the rich keep getting richer while the poor stay stuck is simple. It's not because of luck. It's not because of inheritance. It's because of mindset and strategy. The wealthy understand something most people don't. Money follows power, not effort. Think about it. How many people work exhausting jobs, putting in endless hours, yet never seem to escape financial stress? They believe that hard work alone leads to wealth. But if that were true, construction workers and factory laborers would be the richest people on earth. Hard work is important, but it's not the key to financial success. Smart work, the right knowledge and strategic moves, that's where wealth is created. The system has trained people to become workers, not winners. From the moment you step into school, you're conditioned to obey, follow rules, and never question authority. You're rewarded for compliance, not creativity. You're told that getting a degree and finding a stable job is the only path to security. But here's the catch. Security is just another word for control. They want you comfortable, but never free, because when you're just comfortable enough, when you make just enough to survive but not enough to break free, you become dependent. Dependent on paychecks, dependent on loans, dependent on the very system that was designed to keep you trapped. And the moment you depend on the system, you lose power. But there's a way out. There's a way to flip the script and rewrite your future. It starts with understanding this. The rich don't work for money. Money works for them. They don't trade time for a paycheck. They create systems, businesses, and investments that generate money even while they sleep. That's why a millionaire can take a vacation for a month and their bank account still grows. Meanwhile, the average person stops working for a week and their bills start piling up. So what's the difference? Knowledge and execution. The wealthy learn how money works. They study it, they control it, and they multiply it. They don't waste time on distractions that don't serve them. While most people are scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV, or spending money they don't have, the rich are focused on building, learning, and executing strategies that create real financial freedom. And here's the biggest secret of all. The system doesn't want you to know this. Because the moment you wake up, the moment you realize you don't have to play by their rules, you become dangerous. You become someone who can't be controlled. And that's exactly why this information is kept away from the masses. But here's the good news. You are not powerless. The fact that you're here watching this means you're already ahead of most people. You're seeking knowledge, you're questioning the system, and you're looking for a way out. That's the first step. Now, if you really want to escape and win, keep watching, because in the next section, we're going to break down exactly how the rich think differently and how you can adopt the same mindset to change your life forever. The system is rigged, but only if you choose to play by its rules. It's time to play by your own. Most people don't realize this, but the biggest difference between the rich and the poor isn't money, it's mindset. Wealth is not just about what's in your bank account. It's about how you think, how you act, and how you see the world. The rich and the poor live in the same world, but they don't play the same game. The average person is trained to believe that money is scarce, that opportunities are limited, and that success is only for a lucky few. They live with a scarcity mindset. They're always worried about running out of money, so they save every dollar, avoid taking risks, and settle for just getting by. They're afraid to fail, so they never even try. They don't invest, they don't take action, and they stay in the same cycle for years, working paycheck to paycheck, hoping that one day something will change. But here's the truth. Nothing changes unless you do. The rich, on the other hand, have an abundance mindset. They know that money isn't limited, it's created. They understand that wealth is built, not found. They don't sit around waiting for opportunities, they create them. While the average person is afraid of risk, the wealthy see risk as a tool. They know that without risk, there is no reward. Look at the world's richest people. Self-made millionaires and billionaires. Did they play it safe? No. They took calculated risks. They invested in themselves. They understood that money flows to those who provide value. The middle class is told to save money. The rich know that saving alone won't make you wealthy. Inflation eats away its savings. Keeping money in the bank is just letting it sit there, losing value over time. Instead, the rich focus on multiplying money. They invest, they build businesses, they put their money to work so that it grows on its own. And here's where most people get stuck. They're waiting for permission. They're waiting for someone to tell them it's okay to take a risk, okay to start a business, okay to chase their dreams. But no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success. If you wait for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. The system has trained you to be a follower, not a leader. It has conditioned you to seek approval, to be afraid of standing out, to stay inside the box. But the people who win in life, they don't follow the rules. They don't ask for permission. They take action. If you want to escape the system, if you want to win, you have to start thinking like the rich. You have to stop making decisions based on fear and start making decisions based on strategy. You have to stop waiting and start moving. Because while you're sitting there doubting yourself, someone else is out there taking action and getting ahead. The difference between winners and losers in life isn't intelligence, luck, or even talent. It's mindset and execution. The rich think big. They take control of their future. They don't make excuses. They don't blame the economy, the government, or their circumstances. They focus on what they can control and they make things happen. So ask yourself, are you thinking like a winner or a follower? Are you playing it safe, waiting for the right time, avoiding risks? Or are you ready to take control, to start thinking differently, and to finally escape the system? In the next section, we'll break down exactly how the wealthy build unstoppable confidence and take action while everyone else hesitates. If you've ever struggled with self-doubt or fear of failure, you don't want to miss this, because once you master this mindset, nothing will be able to stop you. Confidence is the foundation of success. Without it, even the best ideas and the biggest opportunities mean nothing. And here's the truth. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build. The rich and successful have mastered this, while the average person is trapped by self-doubt, hesitation, and fear. Most people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting until they feel ready. But that moment never comes. The reason? They lack confidence in themselves, in their ability to succeed, in their power to create their own destiny. The rich don't wait. They act. They understand that confidence isn't a feeling, it's a decision. Think about this. Every billionaire, every self-made success story started somewhere. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't know exactly how things would work out, but they moved forward anyway. They trusted themselves. They understood that confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about believing in yourself even when you don't. Most people fear failure. They let it control them. They hesitate, overthink, and talk themselves out of opportunities. But here's what the wealthy understand. Failure is part of the process. It's a tool for growth, not something to be afraid of. Every setback is a lesson. Every mistake is a step forward. The rich don't let failure stop them. They learn from it, adapt, and keep moving. Think of it like this. Imagine two people standing at the edge of a cliff. One jumps, trusting they'll figure it out on the way down. The other stands there paralyzed by fear, waiting for a guarantee of safety. Who do you think makes it to the other side? The one who took action, because action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates success. If you want to win, you have to start taking action before you feel ready, before you have everything figured out. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. The only way to build confidence is to prove to yourself that you can do it. Take small steps, push past your fears, and watch how quickly your mindset transforms. The system wants you to be weak. It wants you to doubt yourself. It conditions you to believe that only a select few are meant to be successful. But the truth is, anyone can develop the confidence of a millionaire. It starts with one decision: to stop hesitating and start moving. In the next section, we'll dive into the secret habits that keep the rich at the top while everyone else struggles to get by. If you've ever wondered how the wealthy stay ahead, this is where you'll find the answer. Stay focused. Because once you master these habits, your life will never be the same. Success isn't random. It's not based on luck. The people who keep winning year after year have a system, habits, that separate them from the rest of the world. And if you don't know these habits, you'll always be stuck in the same cycle, wondering why nothing ever changes. The rich don't just work hard, they work smart. They don't waste time on distractions, meaningless entertainment, or pointless conversations. Every action they take is calculated. Every hour of their day has a purpose. While the average person is scrolling through social media, watching TV, or making excuses, the successful are building, strategizing, and growing. One of the biggest differences? The rich don't hit snooze. They don't wake up without a plan. They don't let the day control them. They control the day. They wake up early, not because it sounds nice, but because they understand the value of time. Every second wasted is an opportunity lost. If you're still sleeping in, still waking up without a clear purpose, you're already losing. Another habit, the rich think long-term. The average person is stuck in short-term thinking. They focus on instant gratification, spending money on things that don't matter, chasing temporary pleasure, and making decisions based on emotions rather than strategy. The wealthy play the long game. They don't care about looking rich today. They care about actually being rich in the future. And that's why they invest, not just in businesses, but in themselves. They read, they learn. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, who push them to be better. While the average person is looking for the next quick fix, the rich are building skills, developing new strategies, and preparing for the next big opportunity. But here's something most people don't understand. The rich don't rely on motivation. They know motivation is temporary. It fades. It comes and goes. So instead of waiting to feel like it, they build discipline. They create routines, they set standards for themselves, and they follow them no matter what. Success isn't about how you feel, it's about what you do even when you don't feel like it. So ask yourself, what are your habits? Are you thinking long term? Are you disciplined? Are you investing in yourself? Or are you just coasting through life waiting for something to change? Because here's the truth. If you don't change your habits, you'll never change your life. In the next section, we'll break down the mindset shifts that separate the rich from the poor. If you've ever felt stuck, like no matter what you do, you can't seem to get ahead, this is where everything will start to make sense. Keep watching, because once you understand these shifts, you'll never see the world the same way again. Your mindset is the foundation of your success. Before you ever see wealth in your bank account, you have to build it in your mind. The way you think, the way you see the world, and the way you react to challenges will determine whether you stay trapped in the system or break free and win. The first shift, scarcity versus abundance. Poor people live in a scarcity mindset. They believe money is limited, success is rare, and opportunities are hard to find. They fear taking risks because they think losing money means they'll never get it back. Rich people, on the other hand, understand that money flows. They don't panic over losses because they know how to make more. They don't see competition as a threat. They see it as proof that success is possible. The second shift, blaming versus taking responsibility. Poor people blame the system, the government, the economy, their boss, or their parents. They always have an excuse. Rich people take full responsibility. Even if something isn't their fault, they take control of what they can change. They don't waste time complaining because they know that energy could be spent finding solutions. When you take ownership of your life, you unlock true power. Another mindset shift, working for money versus making money work for you. The poor trade time for money. They work harder, longer hours, and still struggle. The rich understand leverage. They use systems, investments, and networks to create income without always trading their time. If you're only making money when you work, you're already at a disadvantage. And one of the biggest mindset shifts, seeing failure as a lesson instead of a defeat. Poor people fear failure. They take one loss and give up. Rich people embrace failure because they know it's part of the process. Every setback is a lesson. Every mistake teaches something valuable. The difference between success and failure isn't talent, it's resilience. So look at your mindset. Are you operating from fear or confidence? Are you playing to win or just trying to survive? Because the truth is, the world will never hand you success. You have to think differently, act differently, and believe that you're capable of more. In the next section, we'll dive into the strategies the rich use to create wealth, even when starting from nothing. If you've ever wondered how some people go from broke to millionaire, this is where the secrets are revealed. Stay with me. This is the part that could change your life. Wealth isn't built by luck. It's built by strategy. The rich don't wait for opportunities. They create them. They don't rely on a paycheck, and they certainly don't depend on the system to save them. They follow principles that guarantee success, no matter where they start. The first strategy, they focus on high-income skills. Most people work jobs that barely cover their bills, trading time for money with no leverage. The rich learn skills that allow them to charge a premium, create value, and scale their income. Sales, marketing, investing, networking. These are the real tools of financial success. The second strategy, they build multiple streams of income. The average person has only one source of income, their job. If they lose it, they're finished. The wealthy, on the other hand, create diverse income sources. Businesses, investments, assets that work for them. If one fails, they have others keeping them afloat. They are never fully dependent on one paycheck. Another critical strategy, they invest, not just save. Poor people save money in a bank, thinking it's safe. But inflation eats away at that money over time. The rich understand that cash sitting in a bank is losing value every single day. Instead, they put their money to work in assets that grow. Stocks, real estate, businesses. They don't save money, they multiply it. And perhaps the most powerful strategy? They build networks. Poor people stay in circles where no one is growing. They take advice from people who are just as broke as they are. The rich surround themselves with winners. They connect with people who are ahead of them, who challenge them, who open doors to new opportunities. Success is never an accident. It's a result of decisions, habits, and strategies. The question is, are you following the path that leads to wealth, or are you still stuck in the system that was designed to keep you broke? In the next section, we'll break down the biggest traps that keep people poor and struggling and how to avoid them. If you're serious about escaping the system, you don't want to miss this. Stay locked in because what's coming next will open your eyes. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they're trapped. The system is designed to keep you broke, and unless you recognize these traps, you'll never escape. The first trap, the illusion of security. Schools, society, and even your family tell you to play it safe. Get a degree, find a steady job, and work for 40 years. But what happens? You get trapped in a paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, barely saving anything and completely dependent on an employer. One recession, one layoff, and everything collapses. It's not security, it's a slow-moving disaster. The second trap, consumer debt. The system conditions you to spend every dollar you earn, buy the new car, upgrade your phone, swipe the credit card, finance everything. Why? Because the more debt you have, the more control they have over you. Banks, corporations, and governments profit off your financial slavery. You work for years just to pay off interest instead of building wealth for yourself. The third trap, the 9-to-5 mindset. Most people believe the only way to make money is to trade time for it. They never learn how to create income without physically working. The wealthy build systems that generate money even when they sleep. Passive income, investments, digital businesses. These are what free you from the endless cycle of working just to survive. The fourth trap, comfort. This is the silent killer of ambition. If your life isn't painful enough, you won't change. That's why most people stay stuck in the same situation for decades, because they're comfortable enough to tolerate mediocrity. They don't take risks, they don't push themselves, and they settle for less. The final trap, the people around you. If you spend time with broke, negative, and unmotivated people, you'll become just like them. Your environment controls your future. If you're surrounded by excuses, failures, and people who don't dream big, your chances of success are zero. The rich know this. That's why they build networks of winners, not complainers. These traps are everywhere and they are designed to keep you stuck. But here's the truth. The system only works if you play by its rules. The moment you start thinking differently, making different moves, and escaping these traps, everything changes. In the next section, we'll talk about how to completely rewire your mindset for success. Because wealth isn't just about money, it's about thinking differently. Stay locked in because this is where real transformation happens. If you want to escape the system and win, the first thing you need to change is your mindset. Wealth isn't just about working harder. It's about thinking differently. The rich don't see money the same way the poor do. They play an entirely different game, and if you don't change how you think, you'll never break free. Most people are programmed to fear risk and crave security. They are trained from childhood to believe that money is scarce, that success is only for a lucky few, and that making big moves is dangerous. This is exactly how the system wants you to think. Why? Because the more you fear taking control of your life, the easier you are to control. But here's the truth. Your beliefs about money determine your reality. If you believe money is hard to get, it will always be out of reach. If you think wealth is evil, you will subconsciously sabotage your own success. If you see yourself as just another worker, you will never build anything bigger than a paycheck. The rich operate with a different mindset. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. They don't complain about the economy. They learn how to profit from it. They don't wait for permission. They take action. And most importantly, they don't trade time for money. They make money work for them. If you want to escape, you have to start thinking like them. Stop focusing on what you lack and start focusing on what you can create. Stop saying, I can't afford it, and start asking, how can I make it happen? Stop playing small, waiting for the perfect moment and hoping things will change. Your mindset is either a prison or a weapon. The choice is yours. But mindset alone isn't enough. You need to reprogram your daily habit. Every decision you make is shaping your future. What are you consuming? What are you learning? Who are you surrounding yourself with? If your daily actions don't align with your goals, you're setting yourself up to fail. Here's the real test. Are you willing to sacrifice comfort for freedom? Because the system is designed to keep you comfortable, just comfortable enough to never take action. The moment you decide to step out of that trap, you'll face resistance. People will doubt you, you'll feel fear, you'll want to quit. But if you push through, everything changes. In the next section, we'll break down the exact steps the rich take to build wealth and escape the system. If you're serious about changing your life, this is where it all starts. Success is not a mystery. It's not luck. And it's not about being born into the right family. It's a formula. The rich follow a predictable set of steps to build wealth, while the average person follows a different script, one that keeps them stuck. If you want to escape, you need to understand this formula and apply it to your own life. Here's the first rule. The rich don't trade time for money. Most people are stuck in the cycle of working for a paycheck, spending that paycheck, and repeating the process forever. This is how the system is designed to keep you trapped. If you only make money when you work, you will never be truly free. The wealthy understand that money must work for them, not the other way around. So, how do they do it? They use leverage. They don't just work hard, they make their efforts multiply. This comes in different forms. Business leverage. Instead of working for someone else, they build systems that generate income. A business can run even when they're not physically present. Money leverage. Instead of keeping money in a savings account, they invest it in assets that grow over time. Network leverage. Instead of doing everything alone, they surround themselves with the right people who help them succeed faster. Now here's the second rule. Wealth is built by owning, not earning. The system tells you to get a good job, climb the corporate ladder, and earn a higher salary. But this is a lie. The richest people don't have the highest salaries. They have the most ownership. They own businesses, stocks, real estate, and other income-generating assets. They focus on building equity, not just earning income. Think about it. The CEO of a company might make millions per year in salary, but the person who truly wins is the one who owns a large stake in the company. That's why the wealthiest individuals in the world don't just work jobs. They build and own things that grow in value. The third rule is simple but powerful. Wealth flows to those who solve problems. Money is just a reward for the value you create. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make. Most people think about what they want. A high salary, financial freedom, a better life. But they never ask, what problem can I solve for the world that will make me valuable? Look at the most successful people, entrepreneurs, investors, innovators. They became rich because they provided solutions that people needed. Instead of chasing money, start chasing value. Learn skills that solve real problems. Think about how you can create something that makes life easier for others. The moment you shift your focus from getting to giving, everything changes. Most people are waiting for permission to succeed. They think someone will hand them an opportunity or show them the way. But the truth is, the system is not built to help you. It's built to use you. If you want to win, you need to take control. Learn how the rich think, act, and invest. Apply the same strategies they use and you will break free. Most people want to escape the system, but very few actually do. Why? Because they make critical mistakes that keep them trapped in the same cycle year after year, paycheck after paycheck. If you don't recognize these mistakes, you will fall into the same trap. But if you avoid them, you can break free and start building real wealth. The first mistake, thinking like an employee instead of an owner. Society conditions you from a young age to follow orders. Go to school, get good grades, find a job, work hard, and retire in 40 years. This is the script written for you, not by you. The problem is this mindset makes you dependent. It keeps you working for someone else's dream instead of building your own. You will never be free as long as your income depends on another person's decision. The second mistake, focusing on saving instead of earning. You've been told your whole life to save money, cut expenses, and live below your means. But the truth is, you can't save your way to wealth. Inflation eats away at your savings, and no matter how much you cut back, there's a limit to how much you can save. The rich don't focus on cutting costs, they focus on expanding their income. They ask, how can I earn more instead of how can I spend less? The third mistake, chasing quick money instead of building real wealth. Many people fall for the illusion of overnight success. They jump from one trend to another looking for shortcuts. They gamble, they chase lottery tickets, they fall for scams. But real wealth isn't built overnight. It's built through consistency. The most successful people in the world didn't get lucky. They followed a strategy, stuck to it, and kept improving over time. If you're constantly looking for the next big thing instead of mastering a valuable skill, you will always struggle. The fourth mistake, letting fear control your decisions. Most people never take the leap because they're afraid of failure, afraid of what others will say, afraid of taking risks. But here's the truth. Fear is a prison. It keeps you stuck in the same place while others move forward. Every successful person has faced fear. The difference is they acted anyway. If you don't take risks, you will never see rewards. The final mistake, surrounding yourself with the wrong people. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your circle is full of people who complain, doubt, and settle for less, you will absorb their mindset. But if you surround yourself with winners, people who push you, challenge you, and inspire you, you will start thinking like them. Success is contagious, but so is failure. Choose wisely. If you're serious about escaping the system, you must eliminate these mistakes from your life. Change your mindset, focus on growth, and take control of your future. In the next section, we'll talk about the mindset shift that separates the rich from the poor and how you can start thinking like the top 1%. Stay with me because this is where everything changes. What truly separates the wealthy from the poor? Is it luck? Is it intelligence? No, it's mindset. The way you think determines the way you act. And the way you act determines your results. If you don't change your mindset, you will never change your life. Poor people think in limitations. They believe life is unfair, that success is for the lucky, and that wealth is only for a select few. They focus on problems instead of solutions. When they face an obstacle, they complain. When they fail, they quit. When they see others succeed, they feel jealousy instead of inspiration. This mindset keeps them broke. Now look at the rich. They think in possibilities. Where others see problems, they see opportunities. Where others see risks, they see rewards. They don't blame the system, the economy, or their background. Instead, they ask, how can I win despite the obstacles? This shift in thinking is what allows them to break free from the system. One of the biggest mindset differences, poor people trade time for money, while the rich trade value for money. The average person thinks if I work more hours, I'll make more money. But the wealthy know that time is limited. You can't scale time, but you can scale value. Instead of working harder, they work smarter. They focus on creating businesses, assets, and systems that generate income without their constant effort. Another key difference, poor people fear failure while the rich embrace it. Most people avoid failure because they're afraid of embarrassment or disappointment, but failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every lesson, every setback, every rejection is a stepping stone. The rich don't fear failure, they fear stagnation. They know that every mistake is a lesson and every failure is a test of resilience. The third difference, poor people chase comfort while the rich chase growth. The average person wants security, a stable job, a fixed paycheck, a predictable routine. But security is an illusion. It keeps you trapped in mediocrity. The rich understand that growth only happens outside of comfort. They take risks. They push limits and they do the hard things that others avoid. That's why they win. If you want to escape the system, you must start thinking like the wealthy. Stop focusing on problems. Start finding solutions. Stop trading time. Start creating value. Stop fearing failure. Start embracing growth. Why do the rich keep getting richer while the poor stay stuck? Because the rich understand a formula that most people ignore. A formula so simple, yet so powerful that if you apply it, your financial life will never be the same again. Here's the truth. Wealth is not about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep and multiply. The average person thinks if I just make more money, I'll be rich. But that's a lie. It's not about income. It's about strategy. Look at lottery winners. They make millions overnight, yet most of them are broke within a few years. Why? Because they don't understand the wealth formula. They spend everything they earn. They have no system to grow their money. And so their wealth disappears. Now, here's what the rich do differently. They follow a 3-step wealth formula. 1, make money. They don't just rely on a single income stream. They build multiple sources. They create businesses, investments, and assets that generate cash flow. They don't trade time for money. They trade ideas, skills, and systems. 2, keep money. Money is not enough. If you don't control your spending, you will always be broke. The rich don't waste money on things that lose value. They don't spend to impress others. They live below their means, not because they have to, but because they understand money is a tool, not a trophy. 3. Multiply money. This is where the real magic happens. The rich don't let their money sit in a bank account losing value. They invest. Every dollar they make is put to work. They buy stocks, real estate, businesses, anything that creates passive income. While others work for money, they make money work for them. This is the formula the system doesn't teach you. Because if you knew it, you wouldn't be dependent. You wouldn't need a job, a pension, or government assistance. You would be financially free. And that is exactly what they don't want. So ask yourself, are you just making money or are you keeping and multiplying it? The difference determines your future. In the next section, we'll uncover the biggest financial traps that keep people stuck and how to avoid them at all costs. Don't miss this, because one mistake could cost you years of progress. Stay with me, your escape plan is coming. Why do most people struggle financially their entire lives, even when they work hard? Because the system is designed to keep them trapped. It's a cycle, a carefully constructed illusion that makes people believe they're progressing when in reality they're just running in place. Think about it. How many people do you know who work harder every year but never seem to get ahead? They earn more, but their expenses rise. They get a raise, but their lifestyle inflates. And before they know it, they're stuck in the same financial situation year after year. This isn't an accident. It's a trap. And here's how it works. 1. The salary trap. The system teaches you to chase a paycheck. It tells you to get a good job, work hard, and trade your time for money. But the problem? A salary is a ceiling, not a path to wealth. No matter how hard you work, your income is capped. You're stuck in a loop, spending 40 years of your life making someone else rich. 2. The debt trap. You're encouraged to take on debt from the moment you become an adult. Student loans, credit cards, car payments, mortgages. They convince you it's normal to owe money for everything. But here's the truth. Debt keeps you chained to the system. You're not working for yourself, you're working for the banks. 3. The tax trap. The more you earn, the more you pay. The system punishes hard work, but rewards ownership. Employees get taxed the most, while business owners and investors pay the least. Why? Because they understand the rules. They use the system to their advantage instead of being used by it. 4. The consumer trap. Society teaches you to spend, not invest. Every day you're bombarded with ads telling you to buy things you don't need with money you don't have to impress people who don't care. Instead of building wealth, you build debt and the cycle continues. So how do you escape? You stop playing their game. You break free from the salary mindset. You stop using debt to buy liabilities. You learn to own assets, not just consume them. Because the rich don't play by the same rules as everyone else. They rewrite the rules. Most people live their entire lives as workers. They trade time for money, believing that's the only way to survive. But the wealthy, they don't work for money, they make money work for them. Think about this. Why do CEOs and business owners make millions while employees struggle to make ends meet? Because they own the system, they own assets, they own the game. If you want to escape the trap, you must stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like an owner. Here's how. 1. Understand leverage. The rich don't trade time for money, they trade ideas, systems, and people's time for wealth. They build businesses, invest in assets, and create value that generates income even when they sleep. If you're only making money when you work, you're playing the losing game. 2. Stop selling your time. A job pays you just enough to keep you coming back, but never enough to make you free. If your income is tied to hours worked, you'll never escape. Instead, you need income streams that work for you. Businesses, investments, digital products, things that make money even when you're not working. 3. Build instead of consume. The system trains you to be a consumer, to spend, to buy, to waste. But the wealthy, they create. They build businesses instead of just buying from them. They own real estate instead of renting. They invest instead of spending. Every dollar you earn should be building your future, not someone else's. 4. Control your income. If someone else controls how much you earn, they control your life. A salary keeps you comfortable, but it never makes you free. The rich control their income. They decide how much they make. They take risks, but in return, they gain unlimited earning potential. 5. Change your circle. The people around you influence your mindset. If you're surrounded by people who accept mediocrity, you'll stay stuck. The wealthy surround themselves with winners, people who push them, who challenge them, who make them think bigger. If your circle isn't elevating you, it's keeping you down. This shift isn't easy. It requires discipline, sacrifice, and a willingness to think differently. But once you make it, once you break free from the worker mentality, your entire life changes. Now that you understand the shift from worker to owner, it's time to take action, because knowing is not enough. Execution is everything. Wealth is not about luck. It's a formula, a system, a game that must be played strategically. And those who win, they follow a process that ensures their financial success. 1. Start investing immediately. The rich don't save money, they invest it. Why? Because saving alone won't make you rich. Inflation eats away at your cash every year. Instead, put your money into assets, stocks, businesses, real estate, digital products, things that grow and multiply over time. The earlier you start, the faster you build wealth. 2. Multiple streams of income. Depending on just one income source is dangerous. If you lose your job, your entire financial security disappears overnight. The wealthy never rely on a single paycheck. They build multiple streams of income, so money keeps flowing in no matter what happens. Start with one, master it, then add more. 3, understand money like the rich. The average person works for money, but the rich, they understand how to make money work for them. They study finance, they learn tax laws, they use leverage. Most people avoid these topics because they sound complicated, but that's why they stay broke. Take the time to learn and you'll start seeing the game for what it is. 4, eliminate the fear of risk. Playing it safe will keep you trapped forever. Nothing great was ever built without risk. But the key is calculated risk. Taking chances based on knowledge and strategy, not emotions. The biggest risk in life is staying where you are, living a life of quiet desperation. 5. Stay disciplined and focused. Most people fail not because they don't have the ability, but because they lack discipline. They start, then stop. They dream, but never act. Success isn't about motivation. It's about consistency. The rich stick to the plan no matter what. They work when they don't feel like it. They sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term success. That's the price of freedom. The system wants you weak, distracted, and controlled, but now you know the truth. You have the knowledge, the blueprint, the mindset. The next move is yours. Will you continue following the script society has written for you, or will you break free, take control, and create the life you deserve?